Okay, today we are going to install Unreal Engine Source. In the last video, you went ahead and downloaded, and went through a bunch of hoops, and you downloaded this Unreal Engine zip file, okay? You had to go get an account with GitHub and get approval, get blessed by Epic and all this sort of stuff, and you can finally have access to the super secret source page. So if you didn't see that, go to the last video. It shows you all that crap. Great. Okay, so what do I have over here? Let me move this out of the way. What do I have over here? Okay, so this, on this side of the screen, this is the Readme file from when you went to GitHub and you, oh, that's not what I wanted. When you went to GitHub and you downloaded the source, okay? You were over here and you double click this Readme file right here. Then this would pop up, and basically I'm just scrolled down a little bit, I scroll down over here, and we're talking about Windows, because most people are going to be using Windows, so that's what I'm talking about. So, okay, now you went through all this, you downloaded your zip file, it's Unreal Engine, we're doing 4.20 zip. Okay, it'll probably be in your downloads file. It's not going to be over here like it is on mine. I drug it from my downloads file, and I got it here. Now what? Okay, so you're gonna use your zip, your 7-zip, and I find that when I'm doing this, I launch it from here first instead of like right-clicking and doing this. It seems like it gets lost in a bunch of various structures and tons of folders. So just come over here, open up your Unreal Engine 420, and then get in there, and then you can get into the good stuff right away. So I'm in the zip file. I'm into the actual files. So I'm going to come over here, and you want to go, I'm right at the root of my drive. Okay. So this one's big boy. I'm going to make a new folder, and you can call it whatever you want. Unreal Engine doesn't like long file structures. Okay. It likes it short. So you could say like, UE, underscore source or something like that, whatever, UE source. And then this is where we're going to put our stuff. So you can just, open it up, do whatever you want, but that's where all that garbage is going to go. So let's go ahead and drag, make sure you get everything. Okay, it says I have 15 objects selected. I'm looking on here. I have everything selected here. And then this is 7-zip, by the way. And I also showed you how to download that. And most people already have it, but in case you don't, I gave you instructions in the last video. Just go to extract, and then it's going to ask where you want to go. That's not where I want to go, so I go dots. And let's see, there's big boy. And then, where is it? Let's see, big boy, UE source, right in front of my face. Click OK. F, UE source, right there, next to the root, and then click OK. And then it's going to start. And it's going to take a long time. Actually, it's moving a little faster than I thought it would. And then it's going to create the files that we need. They should be popping up right over here. Okay. All right. So how I'm going to do this, I'm going to, just kick the mic. I'm going to walk this through with you, and I'm not actually going to install the engine in front of you because that would take a god-awful long time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you everything that I can do without actually installing it. There are videos where the guy will go through and show you step by painstaking step of the meter filling up, kind of like I'm doing with this zip file, but it takes forever. I think you'll be good though. I think you'll be good. So we're just going to allow this to go through. I might cut the video right here, so if it zips through real fast, don't think anything of it. It's just me trying to speed things up. So I'm going to let that go and keep an eye on what I have going on over here. That's where it's extracting to. And then while that's loading, you can look at the instructions over here, and you can get an idea for what's going to happen next. So you open up the source folder in Explorer. We're going to run setup.bat. That is a long process. It's got to do a download of the engine, 3 to 4 gigs. And I know some people are like, oh, what's the big deal, 3 or 4 gigs? Well, I'm out here in God's country, right? And so it's like middle of nowhere, horrible internet, takes forever. So doing that alone would take a very long time. So it does this download. It makes more files, and then you run generate project files.bat, and then that goes quicker. And then we actually go into the Visual Studio project. And what I'm going to do when it comes to that point, since I wouldn't have clicked on those buttons, I'm going to go into my completed engine, and I'm going to walk you through the remaining steps, 5 and 6 over here. So I guess you can't see me pointing. It doesn't do any good. So then I'll walk you through these right here. That way it's kind of hard when you're just reading it, trying to figure it out. So anyway, yeah, I'm definitely fast forwarding this. This takes forever. Okay, the extraction just finished, and it took way longer than I thought. At least 5 minutes. At least 5 minutes to extract that file. So I did cut the camera and fast forwarded. So we extracted here, so we don't need to do that again. So we can go ahead and close 7-zip. And basically, here's what you're going to have. So you'll have this file structure right here, and you need to run a couple files. Now, I looked at some documentation online, and it was a little outdated, but the stuff in the GitHub, the Readme file from GitHub, when you download source, is right. So just come down here, go to the Readme, and that's what I have open. Go ahead and run this setup.bat, and you can find it over here. Just double click that. I'm not going to do it because it would download this file and it would take a very long time. I'm going to show you the after results. And then after that thing goes through, depending on internet speeds and things like that, 3 to 4 gigs, generate project files.bat. You're going to double click and run that one. Okay. After all of this occurs, your file structure is going to look like something like what I'm about to show you. Now, you will not have to go to a different file, okay? I am going to, just because I'm going to show you my source after clicking both of those things. So pretend we fast forward in time in this folder called Depot, then you will have all of these sorts of files. So, and I believe it even says it over here. So basically we run our generate project files.bat. That goes quick. Then you're going to load the project individual studio by double clicking the UE4 SLN file. Make sure you've done all your add-ons and everything like that were mentioned in the earlier video and are referenced, I believe, right up in here. Okay, so double click on that, and hopefully it doesn't crash anything. And it came up way over at my ear, so as soon as it's loading right now, the screens are popping up. I'm going to let it do that. It's going on my other monitor. When it goes a little more stable. Now here's the tricky part. I'm going to try and get this so it works multiple windows. Well, we'll see how this guy works. Now down here it may say like it's parsing files or doing something like that. Let it do its thing. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. If it's down here and it's saying it's doing its little thing, you just leave it alone. What you want to do is you want to come over here to this Solution Explorer. Now, Solution Explorer may not be up. It probably won't have GitHub, but it might be on like Team Explorer or who knows what. But go over to the Solution Explorer. If that's not up, I believe it's either, go to View and then click Solution Explorer, and then that should pop up. Okay, so it could be on the other side of the screen. It may be who knows where. So if you're having trouble finding it, just Google, how to get Solution Explorer up. And that's just a basic file structure of what's going on. It may look like this. Just scroll on up. Close all those programs. You don't need them open. Engine might be closed. Just go in there. Just like Windows Explorer. No big deal, right? So load the project. Double click on the UE4. We did that. set your configuration to development editor. Well, what does that mean? You come up here, and it doesn't matter how big you make this screen, it's always going to be choppy like this. Come over here, do the drop down, and go to development editor. Click it. It doesn't look like anything changed. It may or may not. And make sure if you come over here, you're on Win64. That's this setting right here. And then what you're going to do is right click on the UE4 target and select build. So this is your UE4 target. You would right click over here, and then you would click build. Okay, this engine's already built. I'm not sitting around all day. I'm not going to mess with that. I don't want to mess up any of the configurations that I've already had. So right click, build, and wait, and you'll get my output log is way up here because I was wanting to read all the output. You'll get a lot of messages here. Some of that's important. Basically, at the very end, it should say succeeded, completed, with no errors or anything like that. If you're getting errors, that could be one of them, like a billion different things. So just read the errors, and you'll have to just go do what I do. Just Google that stuff and try to figure out where your errors might be. It could be your system. It could be a million different things. So pay attention to that. Make sure it all succeeded. And this last step here. Oh, and the build could take 10 to 40 minutes. So I don't think it ever just took 10. It was always like a long time. Unless you got a supercomputer, it'll take a long time. After compiling finishes, says you can load the editor from Visual Studio, and I recommend doing that on the first time. By setting your startup project to UE4. It doesn't really explain what that is. So just come over here, right click, and then this little cog wheel, set as startup project. That is what you need to do. So UE4, right click, set as startup project, and then you can press F5. So when you're in this view, just click F5, and then it will get the ball rolling and it'll launch everything. So long story short, I'm just looking over here. I have this giant board that I write everything down on. I say don't forget to set as your startup project. And then once it does start up, if the next video in my series is already here, the engine will launch. It probably will launch. If you've already closed the engine, that's fine, but it should launch and it'll look like your normal Epic thing. Your normal, not the Epic launcher, but when your engine starts up, like when you start a new project. So that's where I'm going to start the next video. So this one, we'll end it here. Next one, we'll pick it up, and we'll actually convert our project, our 420 project, to the 420 Unreal Engine 420 source. Okay, so that's it for now. You should have the engine up and running. Actually, what I'm going to try and do, let me see, like, just so you guys can kind of get an idea in this video what it would look like. Let me go to here, and it's easy to get lost in here. I think so. This is my engine. After you've done all the generate everything, and you've done the F5 and you've played it and you know it works. You go to engine, binaries, Win64, and then there should be, this UE4 editor.execute, and that will start up your engine. So let's go ahead and double click that so you can see what I'm talking about. So you've pressed the F5, everything's going, it's going to start up your editor just like this. And if you've already closed the window for whatever reason, this is how you start it back up. Okay, so we'll give that just a second, and then bam, you're like this. And then so the next video from here, we'll take it from here, and then we'll convert our stuff over to 420 source, and it will be actual tutorials from here on out. So I'll see you guys on the next one.